Hello, YouTube. I am Pinstar, and this is Tropico 6 Strategy and Tactics, Episode 3. So, we have just completed, well, alright, maybe not completed, but we've laid the foundations and paid for the foundations, sort of our colonial poverty block, and we're ready to just keep on steamrolling here because we've got a ticking clock. We've got this urban development edict, which is still in effect, so we're still getting half-price housing, but that will not be forever. So we want to try and get both of our housing blocks, and yes, 2 whole housing blocks is my goal for the colonial area. I want to get them both on the ground at the very least before that edict ends. So as to maximize the financial benefit from it. And since we are not quite at the negative 10k mark here, I think it's time to get started, or at least laying the foundations on our next one here. So, the colonial housing block proper does utilize our country houses, but because the country houses are well off or better, this is going to be more of our middle class block here, a step up from the old school version of it. Now, because we are on that housing cooldown, I am going to do the inverse of this one, where I start with the houses and then I backfill in the middle section, because the middle section doesn't get the benefit from the housing block. So, and I'm not on a timer to build the middle section. We're doing pretty well as far as keeping our people happy, as far as I can tell. So, let us get these laying down here, and same concept, 2 spaces at the top and lay them all along the road. And then we're gonna get, you know what we can do? We can do 3, we can do a 3 for here. Now, one thing that I usually do, with these 2 blocks is I invert them. Now, the middle section is gonna be a bit different for the proper colonial housing block, but there are some similarities, and those similarities that they do share will be inverted. So, for example, the chapel on the poverty blocks on this side. So in this case, we're going to take the chapel and build it here. And I mean, you could do it. We could have reversed this. You know, we could have put the chapel here, grocery store here, and then vice versa down here. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. But by placing them on opposite ends here, if somebody, say, like right here says, oh, I need to go see a church, it's actually faster for them to come down south here and come visit down here. So it reduces the distance of any of the given amenities for many of our people. Right then, let's go back to our houses, or at least house singular, down here so that we can frame our road. Beautiful. Can I squeeze in one more house? I can. And again, I know this is all pre-planning. You know, these are not going to all be finished for a little while, but that's okay. We've got this going right now. Look at this. These hides. These beautiful, beautiful hides. So many hides. I think we've got more hides than because we just got this shipment of 1,000 of the damn things. And yeah, so you guys gotta get cracking. Make it happen, people. How are we doing on our exports? Because I do know we need that. Fish will eventually happen.
Quite right, Governor.
Average. All right, so we've already got the revolutionaries' approval. Now, one thing we want to be careful of here. Now that this is on the table, this revolutionary Tropicans, we are in danger of going to the World War era. And yes, I did say in danger of it. The problem with going to the World War era is that you can't delay it. Once you meet the conditions, bam, you have to make that decision. Do you pay off the crown, or do you fight off a royal invasion? Now, fighting off the invasion is not all that difficult. Yes, go ahead, do your thing. If fighting that off isn't that bad, as long as you have some time and money to prep. And of course, ideally, I would rather not bother fighting, because that means I don't even have to bother building a military at all. Now, right now, we've got no money. We are in the hole. So if we were to, for example, meet the conditions for it right now, we wouldn't even have the option to pay the Crown the 10K. You actually have to be positive money in order to pay off the Crown, because then that'll send you to under your debt limit. So if that thing pops and you're in the negatives, guess what? You're fighting whether you like it or not. And if you're deep in debt like we are at the moment, we won't be able to get our forts up in time. Now, that is the reason why the other component to converting people over is this newspaper here. The Independent is what's really going to bring people over to your side and eventually satisfy these requirements. But I'm not going to turn it on to the Independent until we're ready. That's also the reason why I'm not inviting in copious amounts of revolutionaries as part of my revolutionary quest rewards. I don't want to stack the deck and accidentally trigger a transition before I'm ready for it. When I'm ready for it, I will turn my newspaper to the proper setting, and we will go there when we want to on our terms. Right then, we just finished our thing, so it's time to select the next research, and that's going to be Employee of the Month. Employees of mines and industrial buildings work double shifts as long as the edict is active. Now, at $350 a month, this thing's kind of expensive to maintain, especially being that we only have one industrial building. But keeping them there for double time is actually going to be able to pay for that $350 a month by itself. And as soon as we get more mines and other industrial buildings, it all turns to gravy. So that is next on the docket. And of course, we are going to get Penal Colony. This thing's free to issue and starts paying us. And as this levels up, the monthly payment goes up. So it helps our finances, and we can get some more warm bodies. Because we look at our almanac here, got 19 vacant jobs, and we're continuing to expand here, and we'll be creating more vacant jobs here. So we could use the warm bodies. Let's see here. You guys are doing your thing. You're doing your thing. All right, let's kick up this game speed here a little bit. Or maybe a lot of bit. Because at this point, we're just waiting for our guys to cook here. Actually, one thing I do want to pay attention to here. All right, you guys are getting a little slow here. Okay, good. We are churning and burning through our hides at maximum speed, or well, near maximum speed. But they're making room. They're making room. Because the last thing I want is I don't want these raw hides to be sold off. The reason why they're sitting here is because there wasn't room before them before. These are the things that oh crap! Somebody get those. I mean, granted, selling them back we're importing them for no premium, so selling them back is gonna do nothing. It's just gonna kind of waste the opportunity. Yeah, looks like we're gonna sell them back. Well, we completed our fish. Yeah, let's extend that mandate time. I do like extending about twice. And alright, we got our foreign aid. Beautiful. Can somebody please buy freaking leather? Ugh. For Pete's sake. Alright, good. The import the hides is still on the table. I will do that. None of these others. What's the illicit one? No. Corn, and we already have the corn root active. Rum. Oh, right. So here, this, my friends, I had mentioned in the last episode that there was a gambit involving rum that could make you disgusting amounts of money. This is that gambit. Sometimes the smugglers will offer an export route for rum. Now, rum by itself is really profitable at 9,200 per 1,000. But when the smugglers offer you the route, you get double that. And if you supercharge your rum production, it's also of 3,000 volumes. So this would stand to make you buckets of cash. Now, I personally think that's a little overpowered. I mean, 27,600 in total bonuses, that's a bit much. That, and we also don't really have a good setup here for rum. So multiple reasons why I'm not going that route and going the less lucrative but more reliable leather. But I wanted to point that out at the very least. All right, we've got more cash to burn, and we still have that edict up online. So let's flesh out the last of our houses here, or at least try to. Ha-ha! We have now maximized the potential of our edict. We are done. That thing can expire, and I would not be upset because we have built everything that I intended to build. I do have our construction offices on breakneck. Yep. Good. Good. Once these start getting built, we can actually start scrapping these freebie houses in here because now we have more than enough housing room for everybody. And I want people living down here where it's more efficient to live. We should also start getting more warm bodies to actually fill some of these. Wait, when of these? Next 5 months. Oh, did we get a fresh set? Did we get a fresh set, or did I just check it right on the cusp? I checked it right on the cusp. Fair enough. All right, I'll just have to deal with that little exclamation point waggling in my face for a bit longer. Now, these particular bunkhouses we're going to keep on normal occupancy. We're not going to stack them high. Because I want the housing quality here. We want to keep our people nice and happy. How are we doing here? Doing fine. Excellent. Good, good, good. Granted, we are back in the hole again, but that's okay. That's all quite all right. Let's just keep it full speed here. How is this doing? This is doing fine. How is this doing, or about to do? All right, 10K, that's better. Leather, 900 leather. That's what I'm talking about. That's more freaking like it. And 9 people.
More, Governor, more.
Uh-huh.
Hop to it. The Crown demands.
The Crown can shove it. I'm not doing this one. I do not like the dungeon at all. Period. There's no real reason to build a dungeon, other than the fact that the Crown sometimes demands it. Yeah, Penal Colony is already level 1, which is awesome. Now, you can refuse a demand. It does lower their thing, which also lowers our foreign aid, unfortunately. But they'll eventually come back to it with, hopefully, a different demand. And we've got 4 years and change to burn, so we'll be okay. Oop, and there goes our raiders. I think that they're going for our monument. Excellent.
Our revolution is as yet only marginally glorious, but with your continuous
do we want immigrants? Not yet. We're just gonna get some more cash here. I haven't done my blueprint gambit yet. Can I? No, I can't get off this screen, so I'm gonna take the cash. Not quite ready. Like, once we're actually ready, and if we happen to... Ew. That was a lousy freighter. Come on, guys. Get to it.
Excuse me, old sport. I need a teensy tiny...
That's tempting, actually. That's really tempting, but we gotta flesh this out first. I'm not gonna nix I'm not gonna get rid of that quest, but... because we may want a second tannery at this point, especially once we get back to doing raiding for hides and we start getting that income going. But in the meantime, I want to finish out the block here, and we've come into some cash. Also, speaking of coming into things, wow, all kinds of imports here. All right, we're importing the hides. That's fine. We don't need to import logs. Did we get any illicit goods? No. Still got nothing here. Come on, guys. Throw me a freaking bone. The bad trade RNG here. Not happy with it. Oh well. Okay. So one of the things that we're going to do down here for our mid-level thing, and this is a big difference here, instead of getting another circus, we are actually going to go to the luxury entertainment. And this is a bit of a misnomer. You might think, oh, luxury entertainment, that's only for my rich citizens. Nope, well-off like a lot of this stuff too. The opera house is for rich or better, but the theater, this is good for well-off or better, and it's really high-quality entertainment too. Like really, really high off. So we're going to get that theater, and we're going to build it right here, right next to our pending chapel here. And of course we are back on the hole, but that's, I mean, dancing on negative 10k or more is kind of the name of the game here, because, you know, if you just let yourself burn down to that, you won't be able to place the buildings. At least with the buildings in place, they will eventually get built, and therefore start serving you some sort of benefit, which might help, depending on the type of building, accelerate...
The people have a request, but for safety reasons, it is a secret request.
This is a bullcrap request. Taverns are bunk and junk. Alright, that's a slightly better thing. Come on, what are you guys doing here? You guys are killing me, Smalls. We may need to get another Teamster's office here. Let me just make sure our loads are not building up too much. That's a good... You can tell if your loads are building up too much. That's a good way to know if you need more Teamsters. Our loads are not building up too much. The only thing that's... The bottleneck here is really here in this tannery. So maybe building another tannery, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And maybe if you guys give me a frickin' leather thing, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. So yeah, I think we will fulfill that tannery quest. I guess we'll do the tavern. I'm not going to be in a big hurry to do it, because it kind of sucks. I'm going to end up demolishing it anyway. Oh yeah, one thing we can do here is we can break out the wrecking ball at this point. And just start knocking all this crap down. Because, yeah, we want people living where we want people to live, not where they were originally. And these are also the bunks that were set to stack them high. So this is, despite displacing a whole bunch of people, they will have enough room in the homes down here. Ooh, thank you for that foreign aid crown. I think it is time for us to get another tannery. Especially if we go back to the bananas, hides, and iron raids after we finish our little foray here. And speaking of making it back, they made it back. We actually managed to dodge some of their setbacks. Sometimes you have setbacks when you're going for that, and you have to deal with those. But being on Dead Man's Chest will allow you to have fewer setbacks, because the longer they're out at sea, the higher the chance of a setback. So you can kind of dodge that. So that worked out in our favor quite nicely. So now we can place that building whenever we want. We still have a few more things that we need to get in place. That definitely helped us out. Let's finish up down here. We want another newspaper. And again, this one we're going to place like this. And we're going to place a park here at the end of it. And then we're going to grab ourselves the grocery and the placeholder park over here. Actually, we can do a bunch of parks along here. And yeah. Now, one of the things I'm going to do here, let me just check my almanac. Vacant jobs 3. Yeah, we are starting to hit our pop limits here pretty soon. Now, we're going to be employing a few more people once these get built, but causing a spike in unemployment may do a little bit more harm than good. And at this point, I'm ready to transition. So let's set you to the independent We'll build that damn tavern so that we can get the influx of revolutionaries. Nope, not there. Actually, you know what we can do? Here's what we can do. We will demolish you. And put the tavern here. And just let you sit there temporarily. Just to placate them. And then we will actually take the revolutionaries this time. Because we are essentially ready-ish. Now, we're not super ready. Well, to be really ready, we would need to be in the positive cash. But we've laid down our 2 blocks. We've laid down our extra manufacturing facility. We do need to get more trade routes again. So let's see here. Still nothing there. Yes, we do want to import more hides because we're gonna be having a lot more capacity for hides. So we definitely want to tap into that. In fact, we could do double barrel, but that might be a little overkill. Corn. Ooh, 20% corn. All right, I'll take 20% corn. You're offering it. I'll take it. And unfortunately, I can't sell iron because we're going to be getting that in raids as well. At the very least, we'll be able to hit our 2 more quests on each category pretty soon. This is also going to employ a bunch of people, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Now, one thing we are going to do is we're going to purge the banana farm here. This farm has run its course; it's done its duty. Now, one little tip here: when you're demolishing something that produces something, fire all the workers, lock all the slots, but don't demolish it right away. Your teamsters will eventually come here and grab the remaining stock. That way it doesn't go to waste. And then once a teamster empties this out, then we can safely demolish it. Because we gotta make room for stuff. All right, you're coming up. Yeah, 55 service quality baseline, which is pretty darn good for the early game without requiring too much accoutrement. Employs a fair number of people. Penal colony level 2, so we'll be getting even more warm bodies in here. How are we doing on that? Ooh, oh, okay, so we're like right on the cusp. The people that we fired from that farm just need to find the vacant jobs and take them. So that's not too bad. And we're about to create a bunch more jobs. Of course, we're about to get a bunch more migrants, too, so...
Well, you did the right thing, which is whatever the crowd...
Ah, do I want to cut it close? Yes, I want to cut it close. We'll take the cash, because at this point I want the cash more. Especially with freighters not doing much for us here. We'll give you the more the better. Hopefully all those 1,000 hides go to the new guy. Rum, gold. Ooh, export on iron. Good. Good. We'll take that export on iron because we're going to be getting that from our raid. That will help us out. It might be one of their ships that we stole from, but they don't need to know that. They don't need to know that at all. Oh, one thing I do want to do real quick. This isn't part of a bigger build or anything, but I do want to get one mansion. Well, you know what? No, I need to be more frugal. And now, yeah, when you see shacks with all this extra housing, that means somebody doesn't have a job. We are short on jobs at the moment. And this is why we want to make sure we are transitioning proper. Also, I think a lot of the problems is that we have a lot of high school jobs being unfilled. Or rather, high school jobs that, the high schoolers aren't taking those jobs, and they really should be. So, But once the high schoolers migrate to the slightly higher paying high schooler jobs, then they'll fill voids for the other ones. As you can see, this is why the penal colony is kind of dangerous here. I'm not going to turn it off just yet, because we are going to need the people sooner here, especially once we hit World War era, which I'm anticipating doing soon. But now we need to focus on getting our cash in an acceptable level here. All right, thank you, Crown. Yeah, all of you guys are ready to go, and now you need more hides. We've got 11 hides sitting here. And unfortunately, they will not take an extra thing of stock from, like excess stock here.
Viva la revolution!
Yeah, bring them on.
It's nice to have choices, isn't it? Choices like...
Sure, we'll fulfill a trade route. If it takes the revolution a little bit longer than usual to do its thing, we can certainly make that happen for us. Alright, that's not too bad. We still got more imports for hides. Hopefully they will fill those out. And actually, one thing I do want to do is let's get another Teamster's office, because now we're starting to get more into it. And again, one tip here, and this is actually the reason why I moved this over here. Build your Teamster's office near your population centers. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Wow, 21 people just came on that boat. This is going to be kind of nuts. And you guys are not quite done with those bananas, but that's okay. We just want to get ourselves as positive as possible of money. And we want to make sure you guys are getting your things going here. Good. More the better, more the better. And our raid's about to come in here. That will help our hide situation quite nicely. Boom. All right, let's make sure we just have that one on repeat for the time being, because there's nothing else we need to do.
I ask myself, Governor.
The rescue raid? I'll accept it, but I'm not going to deviate to it. I don't need more people. We got plenty of convicts here. All right, independent here, excellent. Let's take a look at our revolutionaries. Yeah, we're almost there in terms of population limit here, which worries me slightly, actually, because we need a freighter to come and make us money. Otherwise, we're going to have to build forts, and I don't want to have to build forts. I'd rather, really rather not. So, please reach port, because that'll bring me positive right there. Phew! Okay, now you can do it. Granted, I'm about to slip back under, but, well, who's counting? Alright, now that that's been emptied of bananas, we're good. Employee of the month. Beautiful. Do I want to enact that now? I think I do. Although that is going to cost me.
Everyone wants...
Alright, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to... Because I'm fearful of popping it at this point because we're in the negatives. Well, we're about to be in the negatives. I'm going to turn you guys back to open mind briefly. Oh, never mind. Never mind. You guys can do your thing. Thank you, Crown. I may be handing that back to you momentarily. But now, yeah, we can live off of that. And that, yeah, now we're down in the reds here. But we should be good here in terms of finishing this off. How are we on the corn? Corn's okay. Iron's okay. Actually, we should be able to finish off iron perfectly. So we should have a safety valve here so we don't just flat out lose the game. That would be embarrassing. And on the subreddit, I posted a screenshot where I made the transition to the World War era with 4 months left in my mandate. This might be another one of those cases, because I do kind of cut it a little close. Just a little bit. I mean, they're eventually going to pop, and we don't need to worry about the happiness, because, well, people are happy at the moment.
Well, you did the right thing, which is...
Let's fulfill that mandate and keep it safe, just so we don't have to cut it quite so close. Just saying. That'll give us a little more wiggle room. All right, we finished the trade routes here. Let's see. Yeah, more hides. Ooh, double more hides. Yes, 15% below standard. Leather? No, I don't want to import leather. I do want to get iron, though. 16A. Well, now I can actually build my landmark. And this is kind of where I want my landmark to go, because I can build my landmark and still be in the positive. Bam. Oh, and that's the other thing. I need a research. Let's go circus. Circus is our final research for the Colonial era here. And I'll show you why once we hit the research. Yes, Colonial era blimps dropping buildings. Silly. It's silly. I maintain that it is silly. Ooh, look at that. Now, see, employee of the month here. These guys are staying on extra long and churning and burning. Raid finishing in about a month. Excellent. You guys should pull one of these guys and work your butts off too, because we're starting to get some unemployment. 3 people, not bad, not bad. So this place is nice because it has a huge capacity. It doesn't cost us anything in terms of wages, and anyone can visit here. So even the unemployed people can come here and have some fun. So they're not completely miserable. It acts as sort of like a safety valve. Now I could, just as a safety valve, build another farm down here, or possibly some other items. Yeah, we got coal, but I don't want to put the coal mine right next to the population center. That seems slightly counterintuitive and productive. I don't believe people would care for that very much. We could do another fisherman's wharf. Well, let's wait for our cash to come in, because we do need to stay cash positive in case we pop, in case we roll over here.
It's nice to have choices, isn't it?
Sure. No reason to reject and annoy the crown. How far away are you? Month and 3 days? Where are you going? Dude? Are you lost? That's the wrong port.
I must say I'm glad to be still working with you. Finding good help is so difficult these days.
Wow. All right, now we're in the money. 1 year, 8 months. We'll extend it just to be safe. I'm hedging my bets here. Yeah, did you just it never actually finished the raid. The fish the ship kind of just drifted in there, and it didn't actually register it as a completed raid. Also, another little visual bug here, the fields didn't go away. That'll fix itself on reload. There it is. I was waiting for you to pop.
If people of Tropico love you
Yes!
as much
Perfect
as I do.
timing! Perfect
Such
timing!
exquisite taste.
Now, because we are in the money and we're all ready for it, we have the luxury to pay the crown, the 10K. That means we don't need to bother with the war, and that means we don't need to bother with the military.
Excellent. I knew you had a good head on your shoulders and would want to keep it.
Absolutely.
My heart swells with joy as I greet
World
my
War
fears
era.
for the first time
Beautiful.
as El Presidente.
All right, now for our voting rights. Now, there's a couple of different ways you could approach this: the super friendly democracy route, or the more totalitarian route. Now, despite my callous treatment of some of my subjects in hazardous conditions, we're going to go the good guy Greg route here because we ended up being able to pay off the crown. We can go the no military route. That saves us a lot of space and money and expenses in the long run. So, but that being said, we also are now governing at the behest of the people. So we want to keep them happy. So we do want all citizens vote if you're going to go the pacifist route here. And of course, the pacifist state. Increasing the standing of all superpowers by 5 is also really, really helpful, in addition to the much lower rebel threat buildup. And since we didn't build any military buildings, the stabling them is not wasteful. We can always change it when we rewrite the Constitution, should we change our mind. So, confirm those changes and bada boom. Here we are, folks, the World War era. And so in our next episode, we're going to do something about this burgeoning unemployment problem. We've got money to burn, cash in our pocket, and big plans. I think you guys will enjoy them. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstars signing out. See ya!